Hey, away. Sorry, my throat's a little raspy. How you doing? I'm getting an error on my end. Can you guys see the screen okay? Hey, Apparition. Can you guys see the screen okay? Hey, Aaron. How you doing? Oh, great. Everything's working. Okay, because YouTube is saying an error occurred. Please try again later. But it's there. It's working all right. Okay. Okay, so last time. Alright, as always, if I'm too loud, or if the game is too loud or too soft, or I'm too loud or too soft, you guys make sure to tell me. Last time, basically, we started the final chapter of Higurashi, and we basically learned some of Takano's past, with her grandfather, who was a scientist studying parasites. Kind of almost reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 5 in a way. And, basically, but it seems now we're going further into the past, and what it looks like is that her grandfather probably isn't her biological grandfather, because this girl, Miyoko, is living in an orphanage, and she's escaping with a couple of her friends to a better orphanage. And it's really, I really think Miyoko is Mio Takano. If she's not, then I'll be quite surprised. But we're gonna see if this is indeed her, and we're learning how she got to be with her grandfather. Because her father told her that the professor Takano, Hifumi Takano, was someone to go to, but I guess for whatever reason, she didn't make it to him and got sent to the orphanage. And let's see how well their escape goes. My shoes have slipped off. They weren't sneakers. They came off easily while I was running like mad. My bare feet step on the gravel. It's painful, but I don't care. Because if I stop, I know what is coming after me. Oof. Tree branches shave my face and barbed wires scratch my thighs. My feet and toes are bloody from running on gravel. The blood from the staff member's little finger drops down my mouth, staining the areas around my mouth and chest. I am running for my life, with scratches and cuts all over my body. If I were to get caught, I would be killed. If the pursuer had any sense, then I would be killed after being tortured. But if he didn't, I would be killed on the spot. I don't want to be killed. I don't want to be killed. My lungs and heart are about to explode. My head is blank because of the fear and the lack of oxygen. I am about to lose consciousness. I might give in if I didn't hear the voice of the staff member coming after me. My knees are shaking. My legs won't move properly. I feel like I'm going to fall like a puppet without strings. That's a phrase used quite a lot in a lot of light novels and visual novels I've read. But I can't fall. I just can't. It's too late. My face is on the gravel. I feel the awful sensation of falling down. Then, immediately after that, the roar of the beast coming from behind me. Damn you! My finger! My finger! Jesus Christ. Ha! 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 I must have hit my thigh against the steering wheel when I jumped. Steering wheel? I feel the delayed, throbbing pain. Okay, it looks like something jumped. I'm gonna wait until she screams help me in the original here. I'm sweating all over. I wipe the sweat on my forehead and put my hand on my chest and realize how fast my heart was beating. I rub my thigh. I rub in a straight line. That's not where I hit the steering wheel. But I feel like this is where it hurts now. I don't see a scary beast in the moonlit car. I have my shoes on and I'm not bloody. My toes are fine too. Someone knocks on the window and I'm startled. Okay, you think there's something extra in the PS3? Okay. Oh, you're right. Oh, God damn it. Let's see if I can catch up. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wait. Oh, God. I think I would have gone way ahead if you hadn't said that. Oh, God. Here we go. Someone knocks on the window, and I'm startled. Major. It's time. Oh, thank you. I knew it was Takano. Okay. Yep, that was her past. We actually get Takano perspective of all things. Jesus Christ. I guess I can read it in her voice, since that's not too far from my voice. I wanted to take a nap, so I told him to come wake me up in an hour. Maybe an hour was too long. Too long a nap actually makes you tired. That's actually true. It's like if I try to take a nap a lot of times, like, 'cause I'm tired, then, hey Nagels, how you doing? If I try to take a nap a lot of the time when I'm tired, I find out that I just get even more sleepy. I put my seat back up and get out of the car. The cool breeze feels good. I only see the moon. There's nothing else to see on this mountain trail. My car and a command car disguised as a trailer are parked on the side of the street. I have a bad taste in my mouth. I spit it out on the shoulder of the street. But I just can't get rid of it. The taste of blood is saliva and rain. Sweat from my forehead and raindrops get in my mouth. But I can't swallow, so I end up drooling. That reminds me of the past, and I try to wipe my mouth. Maybe I'm nervous. That's why I had such a bad dream. I think there's a coffee maker in the command car. A bad cup of coffee will make me up. I think it will. Yeah, bad coffee tastes like fucking dirt. So, yeah, I think that'll wake you up. Jesus. Hey. So, has anything happened yet? No, not yet. We just received a routine communication from Gifu. Everything is okay over there. I see. Hey, could someone make me a cup of coffee? Sure, cream and sugar? Just cream, please. No, please put in some sugar too. I still have a bad taste in my mouth. Okay, OA has told me that there is a gray box with a yes and no, and it'll just ask me to save, basically, and I need to save to unlock next chapter. So thank you very much. It looks like I might be nearing the end of this prologue. Here's Takano about to fucking do some mass murder casually, apparently. The feeling of biting and crushing his finger and his filthy blood filling my mouth. I think a sweet cup of coffee would wash down the bad taste and wake me up from the bad dream completely. Oh no, is this an added part? For fuck's sake. Okay, apparently this part was longer. In the PS3, oh god, there's no translation for this. Oh god damn it, no. Okay, I guess it was just a little part at the end there. She was saying, oh, it's nothing. Because I've heard Nande Monai in many, many anime, so. Alright, here we go. I hope this matches up. I really hope. And this is a quote here, but it's not a quote here. So it probably doesn't. Oh god. I don't know what this is. Oh god. Yeah, this does not seem right. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do exactly what I did last time when weird shit started happening. I'm just gonna go straight to the original so you guys could follow that. Alright. Okay, wait. Oh, this is actually right? Should I just keep forwarding until some dialogue shows up? Oh, it's not. Oh. Oh, god damn it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is a scene that's not in the PS3, but it is in the original. I have no idea what's going on. I mean, this is a scene that's in the original, but not in the PS3. So I'll just read this out for you guys. I don't know who's talking right now. Hi T, how you doing? Thanks for joining us today. Hey, jeez. Alright, so let's see. Okay, this is the banquet section. Can you hear me? One more speech and then we'll move on to a toast. Are you ready? This is the back end. We're ready. We can't hear anything from inside, so please give us a cue when the speech is finishing up. 10 bottles per table, okay? Make sure you serve your tables smoothly. Young waiters wearing bow ties get bottles of beer ready for a toast. They wait for the cue to serve while listening through the intercom. At a usual party, they can put bottles of beer on a table ahead of time. But if there is a lecture before this party, then they can't. Guests don't mind sushi going dry due to a long speech, but they don't like seeing their tables get wet with the condensation from the beer bottles. And more than anything, they sure don't want to drink warm beer. That's why beer has to be served right before a toast. However, there's always a speech before a toast, and usually a long one. Especially at a big party like this one, there are lots of guests to give speeches, so it's extremely difficult to know when to serve. For that reason, the bottles end up sitting outside by the banquet room, and people end up drinking warm beer anyway. And that sucks. There are several dozen tables with white tablecloths on them in the banquet room. Approximately 8 people are sitting at each table, so there are at least a few hundred people there. The banquet room is filled with excitement. There are many plates with different kinds of food on each table. A sushi platter, a sashimi platter, a fruits platter, and also along the wall there are cooks ready to serve fresh sashimi. Oh wow, that sounds delicious. Jeez. Oh god, now they're making me hungry. No! All the guests appear to be well-mannered gentlemen, and obviously they are notable people from different fields. The huge and beautiful chandelier above them clearly indicates that this hotel holds a status good enough for these famous people. An elderly gentleman is giving a long speech on the stage before making a toast. Usually, people don't like long speeches, especially if it's before a toast. But the guests are actually excited with this speech. Maybe the word excited isn't suitable. Maybe it should be described as an upsurge in a strange way. Which country would actually teach not to show respect towards their own flag? There are none. It's happening only in Japan. That's right. They say that to be forced to show respect towards your country's flag and national anthem is the same as having morals forced on you. Who are they kidding? Come on, to love your national flag and national anthem is a natural feeling. To know ourselves, to know our culture, to understand the history in our country itself. Those are the things to make you realize that you are a Japanese citizen, to make you understand your part as a citizen of this country. And the natural feeling you get from that is love towards your country. However, those anti-Japanese teachers claim that it is the same as brainwashing people in militarism. They are crazy. What are those people doing anyway? They are teaching our children to be anti-Japanese, and they're the ones brainwashing them with self-destructive education. That is exactly what I was about to say, Owe. Yeah, maybe they shouldn't have. Yeah, maybe they shouldn't have allied with fucking Nazis. if they didn't want their kids to, if they didn't want to be not to taught to love their country, because their country made a fucking bad decision. Jesus Christ. So yeah, you gotta have your I'm the baddies moment. Come on, you guys. Tokyo, I know who this is. You were the baddies. They are teaching our children that Japan is a shameful country and that they should be ashamed of being Japanese. No, they're teaching them that you guys did it bad. You were the bad guys. You got to accept that and move on and make up for it, like you did in real life. Forget and deny your country. That's what they were teaching. That's what they are teaching them. Those innocent children listen and believe such nonsense. Of course they do. They go to school to learn things, right? If their teachers teach them that, of course, the children believe that. That's totally contemptible. We must do something about this country's education now, no matter what it takes. The sound of applause fills the banquet room. We're seeing the founding of the Tokyo organization, apparently. Or at least a meeting at them. Well, no, it's probably the founding. Yeah, I can... That's sad. Yeah, that is sad that it would be common in Japan. All the gentlemen agree and express that they feel the same way before cheering him on. Then one gentleman wearing a cloth sash comes onto the stage. A big round of applause welcomes him. A popular theme song comes on as he shows up, but the loud applause erases it. His sash says he's a candidate for prefectural governor. Let me introduce you to a patriot. 4X-kun. Jeez. I gotta learn to make up names here. He has been working as a room monitor for the previous governor and supported this prefectural government for many years. Since the previous governor has decided to retire, then he was appointed as the next governor. Unfortunately, we have those anti-Japanese teachers in our prefecture. They say it is freedom of education, freedom of morality, but what they are teaching is in fact anti-Japanese. They don't teach the correct history. They teach our children that everything was Japan's fault. They don't even mention the true meaning of the Greater East Asia Co-Prosperity Sphere. All the people who fought to save Asian people from the control of the white people. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. They don't even talk about how many Asian countries were actually... Yeah, Tanaka. Yeah, I'll just say that, because saying 4X-kun is kind of silly. Yeah, okay. They don't even talk about how many Asian countries were actually colonized with whites before Japan stood up for our freedom during the war. Wow, you are the biggest hypocrite in the world, Tanaka-kun, or whatever who's speaking seriously. And yet you're freaking allied with the most xenophobic regime in existence? You fucking hypocrites. Our country has recovered amazingly after the war, yet our children don't know any of that because their teachers don't teach them. How sad. I can't stand the fact that these anti-Japanese teachers are actually teaching our children along with the teachers who take I'm sorry. The word teaching was repeated too many times. I'm sorry. Teachers who take teaching seriously. They are insulting our schools. I will become a governor and get rid of those teachers. The teachers taught teaching. Years ago. I will straighten out our education and make sure our children will grow up to be decent young people who carry on Japan's future. He, Tanaka-kun, announces his candidacy for the next year's prefectural governorship. I appreciate your support for him. I promise I will straighten out Japan's education. Thank you for your support. Again, the banquet room is filled with applause. The man is getting a standing ovation. I need to explain the bit about this banquet before you misunderstand. This isn't the conference of a political association or a lecture by a candidate. This is only... Oh, hello, a new person. Hello, Rukasu. Yeah, it's Franziska's Foolish Fools, but with teachers instead. Yes. As we said, I just use Tanaka because it kind of breaks the moment just to say 4X-kun or whatever-kun or something. This isn't the conference of a political association or a lecture by a candidate. This is only a conference for an organization of alumni. Ugh. Everyone is familiar with organizations of alumni. Elementary school, junior high school, and college. Once you graduate, you're supposed to belong to an organization of alumni. You receive invitations for reunions and enjoy talking about the good old days. However, there are many different types of such organizations. Some are simple organizations, and some are united with much tighter bonds. Once an organization becomes united with tighter bonds, it's no longer a simple organization of alumni. Rather, it's an academic clique. In Japanese society, there's a tradition for graduates to find tighter bonds that go beyond the organization level. Also, the more superior? Is that the real grammatic way to say that? Okay. The more superior an alma mater is, the tighter the bonds they forge. The Imperial University, one of the best universities, is famous for its graduates' tight bonds. Why do superior people like to bond? It may be because they take pride in being superior, but more than that, having connections is the biggest reason of all. Yeah, connections, sadly, is the thing that gets you. You could be inferior skill, but if people know you, then you'll probably rise above people who are far more skilled than you. All the Imperial University graduates are elites in their field. They are likely to succeed and become important people. That's where the tight bonds of the academic clique come in. Even today, the Imperial University graduates maintain their tight academic clique, and they have huge influence in different fields. They interact with other universities as well, so the graduates' bonds are extremely tight even today. Anyway, the Imperial University usually means Tokyo University. Yep, Tokyo, yep. But sometimes it means all 7 major universities in Japan. They are located in Tokyo, Kyoto, Tohoku, Kyushu, Hokkaido, Osaka, and Nagoya. I thought Hokkaido was an island, was the top island, the northernmost island. And Kyushu is the southern island. They are all great schools. There is an organization of alumni that includes all of these 7 universities. The elderly gentlemen in this banquet room are each from one of those organizations. However, not all of the graduates can get into this banquet automatically. To become a member, one needs a recommendation from another member. One has to contribute to the society, and also one's status has to qualify. In other words, only the selected can join this organization. Yep. Therefore, all members are important people from different fields, and obviously the power of this organization is of a political nature. Oh, really? Hokkaido Prefecture spans several islands. I didn't know that. I thought it was just the northernmost island. But there's one more very important criterion one has to meet to join. That is patriotism. As a result, this organization has become extremely nationalistic. I was going to say, it's like, what they were saying wasn't really patriotism, that was nationalism right there. Up on the stage, the candidate for the prefectural governorship is still talking passionately. Takano is among those elderly gentlemen. Are they talking about Nifumi Takano? Takano seems to be used to this kind of conference, and doesn't seem to be surprised about anything. But at the same time, this is our Takano. This is the Mio Takano. I thought, okay, so wow, this is more recent than I thought. Well, but recent, which is 1980s, maybe 70s, depending on when this is taking place. But that's kind of sad, actually. But at the same time, she looks rather fed up. Since she is here, she must be one of the members. That means she has a very high academic background. And not only that, she has contributed to the society as much as the elderly gentleman. However, her academic background was the only qualification she has met to join. She was able to join as a special case through different connections. She doesn't have prejudiced ideas like the other members. Interesting. Really? So why is she here today? That's probably because of the same reason as the man giving the speech on the stage. The man on the stage actually doesn't have prejudiced ideas, just like Takano. But they're using them. I bet they're using them. Yep, they're using them. Oh God, is this... Jesus Christ. Yep, that's a thing that happens. He only prepared a speech like that he knew the guests would like. Politicians only want votes. Each and every person has a vote, but appealing to each one of them takes too long. So the best way is to appeal to organizations with a unified idea and a unified will. In other words, this man is giving the speech so he can get support from those powerful people. The elderly gentlemen in this banquet room will do their best to support him, since he shares their ideals. They offer many different kinds of expediency, support, and assistance. At an outrageous level, I might add. If today's event goes on like this organization will decide to officially support him. They'll probably give him plenty of financial aid. They'll assist him in different ways as well. Of course, the man on the stage won't be the only one gaining here. When he wins the election and becomes a governor next year, the organization will welcome the governor as a new member and gain even more political power. And eventually, the organization will become so powerful that nobody can ignore it. You, as the readers, must be thinking that this is no longer an organization of alumni, right? You're right. Yep, absolutely. At this level, they should be called an association. If they weren't so open about their activities, then this could be called a secret association. Some of you may even think that such a suspicious organization shouldn't exist in Japan. But this is real. There are many groups such as this in our society today. They even influence our government by using their political power. They are academic cliques, study groups of different parties in different fields, industrial groups, consultative bodies, communions. Yeah, this is pretty unusual for this usually would happen in the afterword. And I think this happened in the tip as well. And there was a tip into Higurashi about statistics for abused children. I can see why this was cut out of the PS3 version. Yeah. Community service groups and so forth. Also, there are right wings and left wings, the hog side and the dove side. I won't go into the details of each organization, but they appear in newspapers quite often. In Japan, the words to describe such groups are used generally. Words like secret association may make you think of a suspicious organization with people wearing hoods, but that's a misunderstanding. In the United States, there are far more groups like these, and they are so powerful that they can't be ignored. Therefore, they don't even use a word like association. Sometimes people say that such groups have more power than the White House, and they are called the shadow government. Even in Japan, we have our own shadow government called the financial clique before the war. Interesting. After we lost the war, it was destroyed by GHQ, and it has been over 40 years since that happened. There's no guarantee that a new shadow government hasn't been born, since we are so good at using connections to make arrangements. Takano Mio is in fact at a conference of such a shadow government. Okay, I think now this, okay, yeah. I think we finally caught up here. It may appear to be a guest house at a huge golf course. There are no golfers in sight, but by appearances this must be it. But that's wrong. This isn't a golf course. It is a huge backyard. The guest house is in fact a very stylish mansion. Normal people would be surprised to learn that this is a private residence. Yeah, finally. Yeah. I can see why it was cut out. Yeah, they would cut out like controversial stuff. Yeah. The interior is as lavish as the exterior. There are beautiful carpets, expensive looking decorations on the wall, and expensive looking bottles of alcohol on the shelves. And that's the kind of room Takano was in. There's a knock, and an old man in a wheelchair and a young woman who's pushing the wheelchair come in. As Takano stands up to bow, the old man stops her with his right hand. No, you don't need to stand up. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I can make the original small again. Whoops. And there we go. Okay, now you can see these lovely backgrounds. Hey. No, you don't need to stand up. Long time no see. I've been telling you to come see me anytime, but you never come. It's great to see you, Koizumi-sensei. The old man sits down on the sofa with assistance from the woman. He is very old. His face is wrinkly, and he can hardly do anything on his own. However, he is still very powerful and influential. Oh boy, you haven't changed a bit, have you? I see lipstick on your neck. Huh? Is that right? Oh my, how embarrassing. There's no lipstick on his neck. Chicano. Oh, jeez. The woman who was helping him with his wheelchair is too beautiful to be a helper, so she suspected something. Takano guessed right. Although he's so old he could die even tomorrow, he wants to stay sexually active until the very end. Even the Grim Reaper would think that's just absurd. Mio-chan, you've become very beautiful yourself. You're not a little girl anymore, huh? Oh, jeez, what a creeper. God. Oh, stop it. If you really think that way, why did you try to touch my bottom, huh? What have you got to lose from having an old guy like me touch your butt? Oh God, Jesus Christ. And here, Ryukishi puts me in a position where I'm somehow rooting for Takano. In this particular microcosm here, definitely not at large. Oh God, jeez, goddamn, Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm sure you have plenty of chances to touch a softer butt, don't you? Jeez. Takano and the old man enjoy their tasteless conversation. Obviously, they've known each other for a long time, and they are very close. The young woman comes in to serve tea. After she leaves, the old man starts to speak. Anyway, I'm so proud of you, Mio-chan. I'm sure your grandfather in heaven is proud of you too. I hope so. Then I'm not even close to my grandfather's great work. Takano-kun was unlucky in many different ways. The era he lived in. If he lived in a different era, I'm sure he would have finished his research. But he lived in that era, and ironically, that was why he noticed the existence of the Hinamizawa syndrome. The world is in the nuclear era. The United States and Russia are staring at each other with mounds of nuclear weapons at their backs. Whoever has more nuclear weapons gets the right to speak. Oh, make the voices a bit louder? Sure, hold on. Let's see. I am hoping and praying that that is the voice volume. And she spoke a little more in the original version, so let me just continue that. But Japan has abandoned nuclear weapons because of the 3 non-nuclear principles. A country without nuclear weapons is worthless. How sad. In the mid-Showa era, although the East and the West were under extreme tension, they ended up having a Cold War, which was like a fake peace, because of the nuclear weapons. All the major countries with nuclear weapons became permanent members of the United Nations. To increase the advantage of their nuclear weapons, the countries regulated the world with treaties and stopped all the anti-nuclear countries, including Japan, from rising up. For Japan to become a nation that can compete with the world, it must find nuclear arms or something that's as powerful. Some people actually thought that. Okay, it looks like the PS3 version has something that the original doesn't here. So I'm just going to make it big again. Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out who's talking. See, that's the hardest part of this. Of the original is that I'm trying to figure out who's saying what. I think Takano has the first line here, so I'm gonna speak it like that. Realistically, Japan will never arm itself with nuclear weapons. I know. The citizens won't accept it. Even if the government ignored the citizens' opinion and armed itself with nuclear weapons, it wouldn't work. By abandoning nuclear arms, Japan gained deterrent power of the United States. Though some people actually thought that the only way for Japan to become equal to the United States is to get nuclear arms. But realistically, that's impossible. Even if Japan armed itself with nuclear weapons, that wouldn't automatically let Japan join the great powers. Takano and the old man discussed the balance of the nuclear weapons in the world. The sound from the cuckoo clock reminds them to go back to the main subject. The old man points to the attaché case that had been sitting next to Takano. Takano nods once, opens it up, and takes the contents out. There are brand new bills packed in it. How much is actually in there? A bundle of brand new 1,000,000 yen bills is 1 centimeter, so there must be at least enough to make it must be at least enough to make up 8 digits. Okay, I think we're back. Tiny little part was cut there. There are also 2 more attaché cases by her side. But neither Takano nor the old man are surprised at all. Takano closes the attaché case and bows. Thank you very much, Sensei. I'll never forget about this. Money should be handled by younger people. I can't take it to heaven with me. I hope this money will help you. Use this wisely. Of course I will. I'll use this money to only make my grandfather's dream come true. Somehow, Takano, I don't think your grandfather's dream was to commit mass murder. I envy Takano-kun. What a wonderful grandchild he has. Oh, God. I'm sure he's bragging about you up there. Yeah, right. Oh, I haven't done anything yet. When I complete my grandfather's research, then I'll have earned praise. I'm so envious. My boys are no good. They are only interested in making money. It's more important how the money is spent. How you contribute to the country is what's most important. That's how you repay your own country, you know. Oh, so are you saying that treating all those lovers so lavishly is also a repayment to your country? Damn. Jeez. Ryukoshi, who can even make this psychotic bitch have some really nice lines here. Of course. When they shop, the country makes money. Money goes around, you see. However, those lovers will buy some foreign goods. Things may not work as this old man thinks. Takano chuckles. But the money I give those women and the money I give you are completely different. I know that very well. You've worked very hard. You kept the trust and support from so many people.
今だから話すな。春山君も望月君も最初は君のことを若すぎると批判的だったんだがね。
I'm telling you this for the first time, but Haruyama-kun and Mochizuki-kun both weren't sure about you because of your young age at first.
だから私もみおちゃんのその努力を認めてその金を託すんだ。
That's why I acknowledge your effort, and that's why I'm giving you this money. Yes.
そしてな。
Also,
その金を私が託すつうことはの。
for me to give you this money means
私がみおちゃんを高野君の研究の正式な後継者だと認めたということなんだ。
I recognize you as the official successor to Takano-kun's research.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you very much.
私ごとき若輩に委ねてくださったことに深く感謝いたします。
Thank you for believing in me. I truly appreciate it.
いやいや、これは高野君と君の研究だ。
No, don't mention it.
彼もみおちゃん以外が引き継ぐことを望まなかっただろうの。
This research is Takano-kun's and also yours.
だからみおちゃんがここまで上り詰めたおかげで他の年寄りたちをより説得しやすかったわけだ。
He wouldn't want anyone else to take over.
祖父の完成できなかった研究を私が完成させることだけが私ができる祖父への唯一の恩返しですから。
So thanks to... Okay, so the old man said a bit more in the original. So thanks to all your effort, I didn't have to convince the other old people that much. To complete my grandfather's research is the least I can do for him. I won't hold myself back for anything.
そのために求められる努力ならぬ人いません。
Takano smiles as she remembers everything she had to go through to get to this point. To all the old men in front of Takano, she is their grandchildren's generation, maybe even younger. Takano had to go through a lot to to gain the trust from these people who are from a different generation. What she had to go through is something that's almost impossible to explain. But Takano won. She gained allies, drove away enemies, gained supporters, and had people recognize her existence. She spent much time gaining the trust of those elders, and finally became who she is today. That's why, for her to be here today, is a success in itself. Now she has a powerful backing, and she is ready to complete her grandfather's research.
さて、高野君の研究を正式に引き継ぐことになったなら。
Well, now that you're officially continuing Takano-kun's research,
みおちゃんにも話しておかなきゃならんことがある。
there's something I need to tell you, Mio-chan.
何でしょう。
What is it? The old man pauses and pulls an expensive cigarette from the cigarette holder on the table. Oh, Nagels, is the voice volume okay now? Is the voice volume okay for you? I just want to check something. Yeah, in the original here, they don't have any separate voice volume from BGM volume. Oh yeah, because there is no voice, obviously. I'm an idiot. Let's see. Takano lights it up for him. Takano doesn't smoke. She knows the old man smokes, and that's why she has a lighter in her pocket. You don't think it changed? Oh, fuck. Let's see. Let's see if that's voice. Such little things have added up for her to gain trust.
当時高野君は軍医少佐として海外に派兵されていて、現地の貿易研究所で各種伝染病の予防対策について研究していた。
You know what? I'm an idiot. Hold on, let me just I'll just increase the audio capture. Sure, yeah, let me bring up the screen. Which one of these is voice? Is voice volume? Like, how far below a BGM is it? You think it's this one? Is it number 1 here or number 2? Number 1 or number 2? Yeah, that's the second one. Okay, number 2. Let me put whatever that is back to center. Okay, I moved that up. Let's see. And be sure to tell me if I really, really, really appreciate that, by the way. Thank you for telling me, because I just want everybody to be able to hear everything as well as I do. So please tell me if I'm, or the game is too loud or too soft like that. I guess we'll see. And, alright, let's get back to the story. Takano-kun noticed the Hinamizawa syndrome is in Manchuria. Oh, I noticed the Hinamizawa syndrome in Manchuria, not Japan.
そんな中で偶然、いくつかの錯乱事件が全て同じ出身地の兵士によって起こされていることを知った。高野君はひなみ沢出身者に特有の症状ではないかと仮定し、個人的にこの研究を始めたのだ。そしてひなみ沢出身の兵士を研究所勤務にして集め、いろいろと調査した。
Yes, according to his journal, starting around the 15th year of Showa, soldiers from Minamizawa sent to the Kuantong army came down with terminal phase symptoms. Then he predicted the existence of unknown parasites in Hinamizawa.
そしてひなみ沢独特の親代様信仰の存在を知り、得意な性質を持つ未知の疾病の存在を確信したのだ。
Thank you so much, Rukasu. Thank you. Seriously, thank you. And thank you, Nagels, for telling me that the voice volume was a bit low. Thank you. During the war, people sometimes went crazy. Those Hinamizawan soldiers who were sent far away battlefields were forced to spend the day under extreme tension, and they came down with terminal phase symptoms, which led to them to go deranged.
祖父はその研究が軍にとって価値のあるものになるのではないかと予想し。
But that was in the middle of the battlefield. Nobody suspected that anything was behind that. Oh god, okay. I think there was a bit, okay, I'm trying to see, I think there was a bit, I went a bit forward. In the PS3 version, I think something was skipped again. I didn't realize it because the backgrounds were similar. At the time, Takano-kun was working as a military physician in the Kwantung Army. He was researching the prevention of different infectious diseases. And one day, he noticed that some derangement incidents were occurring among people from the same hometown. He suspected the symptoms were only within people from Hinamizawa and started to research it. Then he gathered soldiers from Hinamizawa in the research center as workers and studied them. He found out about the curse of Oishiro-sama and confirmed the existence of parasites with strange characteristics. Some may wonder how he could be so sure that the symptoms were caused by parasites. In the beginning of the 20th century, it was proven that some unknown diseases were caused by bacteria and parasites by German doctors. He wasn't jumping to conclusions by saying that there was some kind of unknown pathogen behind unknown diseases. For instance, we now know beriberi is caused by a lack of vitamins B1. And in the early 20th century, it was considered to be caused by an unknown pathogen. Yes, my grandfather predicted that the research would be valuable to the army, so we asked for a budget, but they just laughed at him.
予算を求めましたが、一生に付されたとか。
Here we go. Okay, now I'm caught up. Fortunately, that wasn't a big divergence here. Her grandfather was a very talented and passionate researcher, but he didn't know how to appeal to others. The Hinamizawa syndrome. The possibility of an existence that lives in the human brain and controls emotions. Although he noticed something nobody else noticed before, her grandfather never even had a chance to appeal his great work to anybody. Not only that, he couldn't find any supporters. Without even being evaluated fairly for what he had done, his life ended. Independent research has its limit. Talented people, funds, and backup. A research project can be successful only if all of that is there.
当時の上層部は即効性でしかも普遍性の高い治療薬を期待していた。
Takano noticed his mistake, and that's why she did everything she could to get all of that. Still doesn't explain wanting to fucking murder everybody. Jesus Christ.
高野君の研究は非常に興味深いものではあっても
At that time, the military authorities expected something that would be cheap and work immediately. Although Takano-kun's research Sorry, I had to yawn a bit. Although Takano-kun's research was interesting, it wasn't needed in the military.
当時の軍には期待されなかったということだの。
ですが、先生は唯一祖父の研究に理解を示してくれたと聞いています。
But I heard you were the only one interested, only one who understood my grandfather's research, right?
祖父は先生のことを無二の親友と記していました。
In his journal, he calls you his best friend.
高野君とは同郷だった。
We came from the same hometown.
同じ蕎麦屋を知る人間と遠方の戦地で会えるというのは奇跡的なことだったの。
It was a miracle to run into someone from the same town on the distant battlefield.
彼とは年は離れていたが、私たちは固い友情で結ばれていたのだ。
Although we weren't close in age, we became very good friends.
だから、高野君からはよく話をされたの。
So we talked a
画期
lot.
的な研究になるに違いない。本格的な研究のために予算をつけられるよう根回ししてほしいと何度も相談を受けた。
He told me that this would be a revolutionary research project, and he asked me to make arrangements for funding many times.
祖父の手記にも先生がいろいろと各方面に掛け合ってくださったことが記されています。
I read in his journal that you talked to many different people about the research.
結局祖父の研究が認められることはありませんでしたが、
Unfortunately, his research was never recognized, but I'm sure your support meant a lot to him.
先生だけが理解者でいてくれたことはきっと存命中大きな心の支えになっていたものと思います。
But I couldn't do anything for him.
だが結局は何の力にもなれんかった。
Oh, that was the grandfather, sorry. I mean, not the grandfather, the old guy. But I couldn't do anything for him. That's why I want to help you, Mio-chan. To help you is like atoning for my mistakes.
だから高野君にしてやれなかった協力をミオちゃんにするんだ。ミオちゃんに協力するのは高野君に対する私の罪滅ぼしでもある。
He just said Sumihoroboshi. The atonement. Yeah, that makes, yeah. Huh.
ありがとうございます。祖父は良い親友に恵まれたと思っています。
Thank you. He was very lucky to have you as his best
軍
friend.
上層部に先生のように理解を示してくれる方が少しでもいてくれたなら。
It's too bad that people like you weren't in high places in the military.
祖父の人生はもっと違ったものになっていたかもしれないと思うととても悔しく思います。
Because if they were, then his life wouldn't have been like that. The old man closes his eyes and pauses. Then he looks far away and speaks.
実はな、真実はそうではない。
But that isn't the truth.
上層部は高野君の発見に少なからず関心を持っていたのだ。
People in higher places were interested in Takano-kun's discovery.
それは初耳です。
What? That's news to me.
でもそれならなぜ祖父の研究を認めなかったのですか？
Then why didn't they recognize his research?
ある事情により高野君にひなみ沢症候群を研究させたくない都合ができたのだ。
Something came up, and they couldn't let him research the Hinamizawa syndrome.
その理由は私と一部の高級将校しか知らん。
Only a few of the top brass and I know this.
私を除き全員が他界した今、高野君の後を継ぐミオちゃんには話しておこうと思う。
Everyone else is already dead, so I'm the only one who knows about it now. Since you're continuing this research, I need to tell you about it, Mio-chan.
研究させたくない都合とは何ですか？
What came up? Who was it? Nakano believed until this day that her grandfather's research was ridiculed by everyone, and that it was the reason why it was never recognized. My grandfather asked the military for funds so he could reveal the secret of Hinamizawa syndrome during the war. But just like the old man said earlier, the military wanted something that worked immediately. Okay, sorry guys, I just need to take a bit of a rest and go check something out. I'll be right back. Okay, so we'll just have a bit of an intermission now for maybe like 10 minutes. I will be back ASAP. Whoops, microphone tipped over. I almost spilled soda on the friggin' power cord. That would have been a humdinger, wouldn't it? Jeez. Oh, God. Alright. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully the everything's fine with my connection and everything. Looks like it. The computer didn't blow up, so I'm back to continue. Let's see if I can get this microphone. It's not dead. Can you guys hear me? Thank you. Yeah, sorry about that. Just had to go and take care of something, but I'm back and act. Let's see what we can do. And, but the old man said earlier, this military just wanted something that worked immediately. That was why they weren't interested in his research. That's what she believed. But the military was actually interested.
そんな中で人道的グレーゾーンに踏み込む危険性を配慮し、高野君の研究は却下されたのだよ。
Before I go on, I need to explain about the Kwantung Army in Manchuria at the time. The Kwantung Army was in Manchuria, but people disagreed whether to go up north or down south. At the time, Japan had troops in Manchuria, but they couldn't agree whether to go north to contain the Soviet Union or to go south to expand territory to secure resources. Because of its location, the Soviet Union had always wanted an ice-free port. So they wanted to expand their territory southward. That resulted in the Russo-Japanese War. Japan won the Russo-Japanese War in the history books, but it was actually a concluded peace due to the Portsmouth Treaty. Both sides simply got exhausted and decided to stop fighting. Russia didn't give up and surrender completely, so Russia will always be thought about as a menace. Later, the Russian imperial government fell in a revolution, but Japan still couldn't discount the new Russia's threat to move down south. According to the history books, Japan went down south. They signed a non-aggression pact and abandoned the north. As a result, the Soviet army concentrated on the far eastern force. The German army came close to Moscow, but they counterattacked them and reversed the tide of the war. The non-aggression pact didn't guarantee that Japan wouldn't attack them. That was why they couldn't fully concentrate on the battle against Germany, since the Soviet army had to divide their forces in far eastern areas. Germany and the Soviet Union had agreed on a non-aggression pact. Yet Germany attacked the Soviet Union. Furthermore, Japan and Germany concluded a military alliance. With that in mind, it is understandable that the Soviet Union couldn't trust Japan even with a non-aggression pact. Ironically, the Soviet Union was the one who broke the pact, but I won't go into that just now. That's right, Hitler agreed to the Triple Alliance, expecting Japan to contain the other side of the Soviet Union. But Japan abandoned the North.
そのためこの時代になってもなお祖父の研究が顧みられることがなかったと。
Because the German attack was so strong, they agreed on keeping their eyes on them. Even if they were to head north, that would be only because they assumed Germany would take Moscow. However, the plan was exposed, and the Soviet army sent all the heavy tanks to the far eastern borders. Then Germany was defeated in the battle for Moscow, and after the Battle of Kursk, Germany was defeated completely. It was a turning point in history, huh?
そうだ。
During the Cold War, The Soviet Union was recognized as a powerful country, but at least in the 15th year of the Showa era, the Kwantung Army didn't think it was. Japan won the Russo-Japanese War, and it just assumed the new Soviet Union government wasn't steady enough. That underestimation was correlated in the Nomahan incident in the 16th year of Showa. Although it was a short period of time, Japan's Kwantung Army fought with the high-tech Soviet Army. Course, not curse. Thank you. Thank you, Oe. Japan realized that they shouldn't fight with them, and started to lean towards the non-aggression pact between the two countries. But at least until the Nomahan incident, the Kwantung Army was aware of the Soviet Army, and the indecision about North and South divided the army. Therefore, in order to conserve strength for the possible upcoming war with the Soviet Union, there were certainly voices that opposed an all-out war with the Chinese. But it turned into the Sino-Japanese War after the Roko Bridge incident, right?
高野君にその気はなくとも、ひなみ沢症候群の研究が公になれば、社会的な影響が強すぎて、一般大衆に不要の混乱と疑念を与えることにもなりかねない。
Okay, we're going into more of a history lesson here, so I'm going to wait until he mentions that again to, since it's just a black screen here in the original, I'll just keep reading what it says. July of the 12th year of the Showa era. The Japan and Chinese armies were staring at each other in the Roko Bridge, Peking. It was the middle of the night on July 7th. The Chinese army attacked the Japanese army in training, and they entered a state of war. This triggered the long Sino-Japanese War. According to the records, that incident triggered the Sino-Japanese War. But at the time, the Japanese army was also arguing about whether to fight the Chinese or not. Actually, the general headquarters gave an order to settle things quietly. The North faction claimed that there was no point of fighting with the Chinese and wanted to settle things quietly. However, the South faction decided to dispatch more troops to China. They came up with the belligerent plan against China, and Japan and China started an all-out war. After that, Japan changed strategy in the war against the Soviet Union. Japan signed the non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union and decided to go south. The Sino-Japanese War got worse and worse. If the Roko Bridge incident hadn't taken place, there's a possibility that history would have been very different. But maybe we ended up fighting in a war anyway. However, if the South faction didn't get the chance, the military authorities would have kept restraining the Soviet Union, and the Soviet Union would have had to divide their forces to the east and west. And maybe Germany could have invaded Moscow. Then Japan could have gone to Siberia. The map could have been very different today. Germany wouldn't necessarily have won the war if it had succeeded in taking Moscow, because England was keeping its strength on the other side of the Channel, and the United States was poised to start a war. I was going to say, everybody that ever tried to invade Russia got slammed by the Russian winter. Napoleon once invaded Moscow, but he evacuated because of the cold winter. It is one of those ifs, huh? The Axis would have won the war. That's a possibility that a gunshot from the Roko Bridge incident changed the history of the world. both sides had different opinions of who fired the shot, right? According to the Japanese side, a Chinese soldier fired a shot at a Japanese soldier because he was too close to the Chinese camp. However, the Chinese side claimed the shot was a conspiracy of the Japanese military. But the shot was fired. Even though nobody knew who actually fired the shot, it triggered the Sino-Japanese War. That's what the history books say. But Sensei, what does that have to do with my grandfather? Okay, I think now we're going to get back to it. In the Roko Bridge incident, a shot was fired at a unit that was training in the middle of the night. Everyone was called for a roll call. They were missing one soldier. The soldier came back later, and it was said that he sent a messenger and got too close to the Chinese camp. Anyway, the soldier was from Hinamizawa. Huh? Really?
そう危惧した重鎮たちが今日に至るまで高野君の研究を黙殺するよう根回しをしておったのは今だから言える話だ。
Okay, I still think that it hasn't caught up yet. Okay. It might have now. When Takano-kun was talking about the Hinamizawa syndrome, he said soldiers from Hinamizawa could suddenly fall into a deranged state. And we realized that the soldier from the Roko Bridge incident was in fact from Hinamizawa.
私も高野君に協力しないよう長く釘を刺されておった。
Then, what about the Roko Bridge incident? I don't know the truth, but there is a possibility that a soldier with the terminal phase symptoms of the Hinamizawa syndrome fired the shot. That soldier was killed in the incident. Since there was no record of it, nobody knows exactly how he died. Interesting bit of historical context he's providing to this. Like this really, the story has always been a mix between the fantastical and the very realistic. He's kind of merging these two aspects completely directly in this way here. The Japanese side claimed and negotiated with the fact that the Chinese army fired at them. A few days after the incident, Japan requested an apology from the Chinese side, and as an industrial action, it decided to increase divisions. The Chinese side opposed, and the situation got worse all of a sudden.
だがそういう連中は高いし、もう当時を知る者は私しかおらん。
If the research of the Hinamizawa syndrome continued, people thought it would influence what the Japanese are claiming in a negative way.
もし今まだ高野君が生きていたなら、私はそれを誤って全面的な協力を申し出るつもりだった。
They didn't want to step into a political gray area, so they rejected Takano-kun's research.
彼はもういない。だから私はミオちゃんに謝り、高野君にするはずだった協力を君にしようと思っているのだ。
よろしいのですか。私がひなみざわ症候群の研究をすることで蒸し返しになるということはありませんか。
So that was why my grandfather's research wasn't recognized even after the war?
もう当時とは時代が違う。
That's right.
それにひなみざわ症候群の研究には単なる風土病では済まされないものが潜んでおる。
The war is over, but there are still some conflicts there regarding the historical recognition.
研究によっては医学の名前がつくあらゆる学会がひっくり返るような大発見になるかもしれん。
Even if Takano-kun didn't mean for it, If the research of the Hinamizawa syndrome came out to the public, it would have brought back the subject of the war, which was already over.
当時とはもう風向きが変わったということですわね。
He continued some more in the original. Some authorities were afraid of that, so they made sure his research was ignored even after the war. I was also told not to help him in any way. Takano tries to be calm, but she can't stop herself from grimacing.
そうだ。
She just found out that the reason why nobody showed interest in her grandfather's research, it was because of the secret maneuvers of masterminds. For the masterminds to be so fearful, they must have acknowledged the importance of the research. She lamented her grandfather's lonely life.
不幸にも高野君は風向きが変わるまで存命することができなかった。
However, they are all dead now. I'm the only one who knows about it.
だが幸いミオちゃんという後継者に研究を託せた。
If Takano-kun was still alive, I was going to apologize to him and support him
だから
completely.
私はこの命ある限りミオちゃんの研究を最大限応援する。
But he's no longer here. That's why I'm apologizing to you and offering to give you my full support.
私は高野君に協力を約束したのに、さまざまなしがらみから力になれず彼を失望させた。その償いを命ある限り、それが高野君が無二の親友と呼んでくれた私のこの世に残された最後の仕事だと思っとる。
先生、本当にありがとうございます。
Are you sure? I think I might be a bit ahead in PS3. Are you sure? When my research on the Hinamizawa syndrome bring up this subject again? It's different now. Besides, the Hinamizawa syndrome isn't just a local disease. Depending on the outcome, it may even make post-war Japan one of the great powers. The wind direction has changed, huh? That's right. Unfortunately, Takano-kun didn't live long enough to see the change in wind direction, but he has you to continue his research. So long as I'm alive, I'll continue to give you my full support. I promised to help Takano-kun, but because of various things I couldn't do anything, so I want to make up for that as long as I'm alive. I think that's the least I can do for the man who called me his best friend. Sensei. Here we go. Okay, now I'm caught up. Now I'm really caught up. Thank you so much.
いやいい。
Oh, don't mention it.
私も死ぬ前に洗いざらいを話せてすっきりした。
I'm glad I was able to tell you everything before I died.
とにかく私の目が黒いうちはミオちゃんの研究に一切の不自由はさせん。
Anyway, until I'm dead, I'll make sure you get everything you need, okay?
何かあったらいつでも頼りなさい。
So if there's anything you need, be sure to let me know.
助力は惜しまないからの。
I'll do anything for you. Takano can't even imagine what kind of bond this old man and her grandfather had between them. But thanks to that bond, Takano was able to gain a strong supporter. Takano becomes emotional, but she feels like dancing inside because she's excited to hear about the full support from this old man. The old man and Takano both bow at the same time to show each other's appreciation. Once that's done, the old man becomes a little more serious. He starts to say what he wanted to say in the first place.
そういうことだ。
That's right.
私が言いたいのはつまり
This is what I wanted to say.
ひなみざわ症候群には歴史すらも作りかねない魔力が宿っているということだ。
The Hinamizawa syndrome has the power to write history.
それは日本社会すらもねじ曲げかねない。
It may even change the fate of this country.
そこのところをよく肝に銘じて慎重に研究をしなさい。
So please remember that and research very carefully. Oh God, Jesus Christ. When the owner finishes serving food, she bows and leaves. The room is very tastefully done. It reminds them of a tea ceremony room. Rika's wine was the only one important to the story. I think so. I think they had to keep that one. Ironically, there'll be underage drinking, which who knows, I guess Japan doesn't have a taboo that strongly against it. But is it underage? I don't know. You can't really. How can you say with Rika when it's Rika? The room isn't decorated much, but obviously quite a bit of money has gone into this room. This is a very famous Japanese restaurant, where many important people and high officials hold secret meetings. Takano was here, accompanied by about 5 gentlemen. Takano was sitting slightly further away from the men. Obviously, those men are in a much higher position than Takano. One of the men is wearing an expensive double-breasted suit. He tells Takano not to be nervous. Please relax, Takano-san. What we read is very interesting. I can't believe this research was just sitting there for dozens of years. Yeah, it is a bit surprising. I thought that all the research projects on BC weapons funded by the old Japanese military during the war were basically all failures. And that everything was confiscated by the US. This research wasn't even taken seriously by the top brass of the military. I see. So that's why nobody knew about it and GHQ didn't investigate it. In a way, that was lucky. Huh. How interesting that you're succeeding the research of Dr. Takano, Takano-san. It's like the deceased is using your body to complete his research. Maybe that's true. I feel a mysterious connection too. Takano calls Takano Hifumi her grandfather, but she hasn't really explained the truth to anyone. That's because she was afraid that people might feel that there were personal feelings involved in her continuing Takano's research. She tells people she used to know Takano Hifumi, and after her death, she found some data from the research and decided to continue it. Well then, what do you think? The defense agency was very interested. According to Nakagawa-kun, the research headquarters of the defense agency shows strong interest and decided to sponsor you. Ooh, that's great. Congratulations, Takano-san. Thank you very much. They say as a research society for the deterrence of weapons for the next generation, organized by some experts among the ministries and government officials.
この中でアルファベットプロジェクトというのがあるらしい。
The Alphabet Project is one of them.
高野さんはご存知ですかな？
Have you heard of them, Takano-san? There was no way she would know something like that. But it is very possible for these nationalists to research something dangerous without citizens knowing about it. The society is like a net made of connections between people. People hold hands of other people who share the same ideas and end up knitting a net. Of course, some nets are well known, but there are some secret ones too. There's no way of guessing how the men at this meeting are connected. A research society for the deterrence of weapons for the next generation. The Alphabet Project. With those words, it is possible to imagine what it is. Deterrence of weapons. That usually means nuclear weapons. Weapons are usually to destroy the enemy. However, the general idea of the deterrence of weapons is very different. Its assumption is not to use the weapons against the enemy. Nuclear weapons can be used as a threat to prevent an enemy invasion. The United States and the Soviet Union both have nuclear weapons, and they are trying to restrain each other with them. But they will never use them. Because if they did, there would be a nuclear war, and both countries would be destroyed. So it is like a last resort. Of course, this last resort works because both sides have it. If only one had it, then there would be no point in negotiating. In other words, countries without nuclear weapons are powerless. Japan is an established country without nuclear weapons. However, that really isn't the total truth. Japan has abandoned nuclear weapons, but it allied with the United States, the country with nuclear weapons. In other words, Japan is established because of the United States' nuclear weapons. But that means Japan has to depend on the United States forever. To get rid of that position and to become an equally powerful country, Japan has to step out of the United States' shadow. It has to own nuclear weapons. It must be a society organized by experts who believe in that ideal.
中川君としては今回の件十分に研究が進んだら丸ごと買い取って構わないと言ってくれてる。まだまだ未完の研究だが、その将来性については十分に理解できているようだ。
The name Alphabet Project even makes sense now. Nuclear weapons are weapons of mass destruction. However, weapons of mass destruction aren't always nuclear weapons. They include biological weapons and chemical weapons. Atomic, biological, chemical. The initials of the three words make ABC. That's why sometimes the weapons of mass destruction are called ABC weapons. I won't go into the other weapons of mass destruction that don't belong to those three categories. ABC, alphabet. In other words, the Alphabet Project must be a secret language for research into weapons of mass destruction. Takano's guess is right. In all fairness, Japan should own nuclear weapons. After the war, we became a peace-loving nation and contributed internationally, and will become a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council.
おっしゃる通りです。
We won't be recognized as one independent nation unless we are armed with nuclear weapons. This has been the long-cherished wish of this post-war Japan. Exactly.
この研究はまだ道半ばで、十分な資金と施設、人材が欠かせません。
However, realistically, because of the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, only major countries own nuclear weapons.
それでだね。
Also, our citizens wouldn't dare let Japan own nuclear weapons.
ここからが交渉になるんだが、向こうとしてはこの研究丸ごと抱えてしまいたいのが希望らしいんだ。
Biological and chemical weapons are also known as nuclear weapons for the poor.
こう言っちゃ悪いんだが、君一人に任せるには荷が重いと考えて。
Small countries that can't own nuclear weapons have already started the research.
私はお金が欲しくて一人の研究者としての知的探求心からです。
Okay, I think the other guys had a bit more dialogue here. Takano-san, please don't misunderstand us, okay? The purpose of this research isn't to obtain biological weapons. Instead, the goal is to prevent such weapons from coming into Japan from other countries. So this research is self-defense. I want you to... Oh, so this research is self-defense. So I want you to understand that. Yes, I'm aware of that. Takano usually doesn't like such means. But she doesn't show it.
私に必要なのは先方が求めるのは成果。そういう関係に期待したかったのですが。
No matter what they say, she already knows that they realize the value of research of biological weapons.
分かってます、分かってます。
However, this isn't the truth either. If they were to research biological weapons, it would be a lot quicker to research diseases like smallpox and bacillus, anthracis, than an unknown disease like the Hinamizawa syndrome. Therefore, what they said about the defense agency being interested in the biological weapon is not the truth. For Takano to conduct this research, she needs funding, a staff, and a facility. She needs a powerful sponsor. She used her connections to get in touch with a political elder, and he made arrangements to pull some fundings from the defense agency, using diversion of biological weapons as an excuse. That is the truth. Therefore, this isn't officially recognized by the defense agency. To be exact, the masterminds who control the defense agency recognized it. The masterminds deliver funding from the defense agency to the Alphabet Project. And the masterminds recommended Takano's research. Takano also gets the money she needs, and the masterminds get rebates. With that in mind, it is actually rather suspicious that this project is actually honest research into the deterrence of weapons for the next generation. Maybe it is just a tunnel project for the masterminds to make money out of. However, that doesn't matter to Takano. She doesn't care about the expectations of the masterminds and the elders. As long as she gets the money, she's happy to let them do whatever they want. Either way, Takano found a sponsor. It is one of the biggest organizations around, too. It was the dream of her grandfather. She tried to stay calm. She's about to jump up and down in excitement. Nakagawa-kun says that once the research gets underway, he doesn't mind buying it out. Although it's still an incomplete research, he definitely sees potential in it.
高野さんが今日まで積み上げてきた研究を横からかっさらわれたんじゃ、それはあんまりですからね。そこは私もよくわかってます。もちろん向こうにもそれは伝えました。それで出てきた折衷案がこれです。
まずアルファベットプロジェクト内の新規事業として高野さんの研究を立ち上げます。
Okay, there's a lot of changed dialogue here. Sorry. You're absolutely right. This research is only halfway done. I need a lot more funding, a better facility, and better staff. So here comes the condition. They want to keep this whole research to themselves. And I hate to tell you this, but they think you shouldn't be responsible for it. Takano's ecstasy is interrupted there. This research isn't there for me to make money. I am working as a researcher out of my intellectual curiosity. What I need is a sponsor, and I give the result back to my sponsor. That is what I was thinking. She realizes she's talking rather emotionally, so she tries to calm herself down.
理事会の承認を経れば正式に予算をつけることができますからね。高野さんには客員という形でプロジェクトに参加していただき、研究に携わるという形になります。
It says assistants in research. To them, Takano-san seems too young to be able to come up with a result that's worth the money they will be spending. To them, Takano seems too young to be able to come up with a result. And here we go.
ただ研究会は今回の研究に予算をつけるにあたりいくつかの条件を挙げています。一つは先ほど先生が申し上げたこの度の研究に関する分野で優秀な才能を持つ人物に研究筆頭を委ねることです。
お言葉を返すようですが、
Okay, I think that, yeah, the dialogue is quite different between these two. I'm gonna put up the original so you guys can see. I know. You've been working on this research for a long time, and you don't want anyone to just grab it from you, right? I totally get that. Of course, I'm already told them that. So here is an idea we came up with. We'll start a new project within the Alphabet Project, which is your research. As long as the board of directors recognizes it, you will get funding. You'll be a guest researcher and a participant in the project. If she wants the money, she has to do what they tell her to do. So far, she has no objection. The Research Society has made some demands. One is to find a talented and experienced person to lead the research. I hate to say this, but who would be more knowledgeable about this research than me? Other than the late Dr. Takano, of course. Well, please come down, Takano-san. I totally understand what you're thinking.
私以上にこの研究に詳しい人物が高野先生を除いて存在するとお思いですか？
But that would be the same as selling my research to whoever this person is. That's absurd.
まあ、そこは高野さん抑えて。
Whoa, calm down, Takano-san. Yep, I think we've caught up, Chi. Yep, I think we've caught up. Yeah.
お気持ちはごもっともです。
それではその人物に私が研究を売り渡すのと何も変わらないではありませんか。
And of course, right as the lines co-intersect, we have it diverge again. The men notice Takano's anger. They laugh as to tell her how immature she is for not being able to control her emotions. However, they don't laugh to look down on Takano. On the contrary, they are trying to tell her to wait until the end. Of course, we'll make sure you get your way. Koizumi-sensei told me to take a good care of you. Do you think I would ignore you after that? Don't worry. Please let me work things out. I'll make sure you'll be happy. What do you mean? I get to select the leading party.
全く話が違います。
Everyone laughs hard except Takano. Then she joins in. He means he'll find just the right person.
落ち着きなさい、高野さん。
Okay, I think I'm gonna stop here for today. I'm pretty sure we're caught up together. Unless this section is ending pretty soon. Do you know? I can go on for longer if this section is gonna end pretty soon. Do you know how much longer that this section is gonna go? Like, does this section have a while yet to go, or is it going to keep going? Because, wow, this is a long-ass prologue. Jeez. Takano has a lot of backstory that we're going through. Holy shit. You don't know? Okay. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna. Oh, you don't think it's that long? Then I'll keep going. All right. So I'll keep going for now. I got a second wind after that little break there. So the defense agency suggested finding an expert as a leader, because they didn't feel comfortable with just Takano. However, Takano's sponsor is the one to find that person.
もちろんそこはあなたのやりやすいように手を打ちます。
Takano realizes how wonderful it is to have powerful backing. Just this part. Let me work it out. I'll find some candidates for you.
小泉先生からあなたをよろしく頼むと念をされているんです。
All you have to do is pick the one you think would be the perfect candidate.
第四ある小泉先生に託されたあなたを私がないがしろにするとお思いですか。大丈夫です。ここは一つ私に任せてください。あなたもそして連中も納得するうまい妥結点を用意します。
She feels better now. She won't be the official leading person of the research, but in reality she will be leading it. Of course she isn't an expert. It'll be beneficial for her to have a partner.
と申しますと
Okay, and the other guy had a bit more dialogue. Give me some time. Give me some time to talk to the other end. I'll make sure you're happy with the outcome. Please just wait patiently. I understand. Thank you for
そ
everything.
の人物の人選は私が握っているということですよ。
Oh, by the way, it's not just the defense agency. Nagata-kun from the Ministry of Health and Welfare is willing to help you too. He introduced me to Ito-kun from the National Infectious Disease Control Center. He's willing to help you with your equipment and technology. Really? Thank you so much. This is a national project, isn't it? Congratulations, Takano-san. This is all because of your effort and the deceased Dr. Takano's hard work. Oh no. This is all because of Dr. Takano's hard work. I haven't done anything yet. Being humble is a good virtue. Just like Koizumi-sensei told me, you are truly a nice person, aren't you? Yes, she is such a nice person. Isn't Takano such the nicest person ever? Seriously. No wonder he adores you. Anyway, they want you to join the agency. Luckily, you have a doctor's license, right? You'll be a medical officer of the research headquarters. Do you mean I will be a government worker? I didn't expect that. All the organizations that are involved with the Alphabet Project are public institutions. Oh, sorry, that's that guy talking. The Self-Defense Force is actually interested in this research as well. They are offering to send some self-defense force personnel, too. So your physician may be treated as a self-defense force physician. Well, just think of it as government officials fighting over territory. To be above these government officials, you need your government position. No matter what, we'll make sure you'll be happy, so please don't worry about anything. I understand. I'll let you work things out. And knowing Dr. Takano's research was once rejected by the old Japanese military, it's hard to believe that the self-defense force is interested in it now. Well, I don't know what to say. At the time, the Japanese military wanted something that worked immediately to remedy the situation. I don't think that they looked down on Dr. Takano's research. That's not true. Takano already knows about the truth. Takano exhales. To her, it feels like this meeting in front of her is happening somewhere far away. She has worked so hard for this day to happen. Finally, her grandfather and his research are getting recognition. This is what she has been dreaming about. So it's scary to even think that this may be just a dream. True joy can't be felt all at once. One oftentimes has a delayed reaction. Takano thinks this is exactly what that means. I think you'll probably be in a commanding position. So you'll be an executive officer, probably a major. That's wonderful! Major Takano, huh? Oh boy, I'm envious. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the other guy talking. Ah! That's wonderful, Major Takano, huh? Oh boy, I'm envious. As a man, I wish I had a rank like that. Oh boy, Major Takano.
万事私に任せてください。あなたがやりやすい候補者をこちらで探します。高野さんはその中から組みやすいと思う相手を選べばいいということです。この件、しばらく先方と私の方で調整します。もちろん高野さんの満足のいく形で決着できるようにしますので。
はい、お世話になりますが、どうかよろしくお願いいたします。
A major? What is that?
そうだ。防衛庁の話だけじゃないよ。
It's the rank system of the self-defense
法
force.
制省の永田君も一枚噛んでくれるそうだよ。
It's like a sub-manager at a company, I guess.
国立感染症予防研究所の伊藤君を紹介してくれてね。
That will be your rank when the project gets
機材
underway.
や技術についてのバックアップを名乗り出てくれてる。
It's equivalent to a lieutenant commander in the old Japanese military.
本当ですか？
What a coincidence. Dr. Takano was a lieutenant commander in the old military. Oh wow, jeez. I bet she's thrilled about that. She remembers suddenly. That's right. Her grandfather was a lieutenant commander in the Japanese military. Everything she has done until today was so she could succeed her grandfather's research. Now everything is set, and the rank she will get is the same rank as her grandfather's. She always believes that succeeding his research was a bond tighter than blood. And now, the rank she will get is the same as her grandfather's. This is fate. Is this a message from her grandfather?
ありがとうございます。
もうこれは立派な国家プロジェクトですな。おめでとう高野さん。これも 今日までのあなたと、そして高野先生の地道な研究が評価された結果です。
いえ、すべて高野先生の努力の成果です。私などまだ何も。
It must be a shout of encouragement from her grandfather in heaven. It's the proof that not only the research, but his thoughts are hers as well. I think they might have changed some dialogue here. I mean, some narration to dialogue here, it sounds like. It's the proof that not only the research, but his thoughts are hers as well. Takano couldn't help but feeling a sense of fate from getting to be ranked a major.
謙虚なのは実にいいことです。小泉先生もおっしゃっておられましたが、可愛がられているというのもうなずけます。
それでですね、向こうとしては高野さんの身分を防衛庁で預かってしまいたいようです。幸い高野さんは医師免許をお持ちですからね。研究本部の遺憾として身分を保証するようです。
それは公務員になれということですか。これは意外な話ですね。
Grandpa, I'm finally here. I'm gonna wait until that dialogue comes out.
アルファベットプロジェクトに携わる研究機関のほとんどは公的機関です。今回の研究は陸自も強い関心を寄せており、職員を陸自から派遣したいと強く要望してきています。ですので、場合によっては身分は陸自の扱いになるかもしれません。
まあ、この辺は役人の縄張り争いだと思ってください。その役人たちの上に立つには役人の身分が必要になってくると。もちろんどういう形になろうとも高野さんが不快に思うようなことにはしませんから安心してください。
わかりました。そのあたりはお任せいたします。しかし高野先生がかつて軍にこの研究の援助を求めた時には断られたことを思うと、防衛庁が興味を示されたのが意外というか遅いというか複雑な気持ちですね。
それは仕方ありますまいな。今でこそこの研究には信憑性、そして必要性の観点から見ても説得力がありますが、
I'm pretty sure that
当時で求められていたのはより普遍的で安価な成果だった。
it looks like there's definitely more dialogue here in the PS3 version. I'm really sorry.
決して高野先生の研究を見下していたわけではないはずです。
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot more text in the PS3 version in this part than the original.
すると思います。多分左官クラスの階級が与えられるのではないでしょうか。となると高野さんは副隊長の地位になりますから、おそらく3差ではないかと。
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
これは素晴らしい。高野三差ですか。いやいや、羨ましいですな。
Yeah, it looks like there's a lot more dialogue for some reason in this part in the PS3 version, without a doubt.
男に生まれたからには一度くらいは自分のことを階級で呼ばれてみたいものですが。
I'm pretty sure I know what part that was, where he said that. Yep, he's right there. Okay, yep, that's where it was, yep. I can reread it, because now that I'm pretty sure I know where they are. Yeah, there was way more dialogue in the PS3 version here than the original.
いやいや、高野三差ですか。
He was just saying, oh boy, Major Takano, hmm?
三差何ですか。
A major? What's that?
ああ、自衛隊の階級のことで三等陸佐のことです。
No, I'm definitely sure this is what they're saying here. Oh, it's the rank system of the self-defense force.
企業でいうところの副部長くらいでしょうね。
It's like the sub-manager at a company, I guess. That will be your rank once the project gets underway.
おそらくその階級がプロジェクト発足時に高野さんに与えられることになるかと思います。
It's the equivalent to a lieutenant commander in the old Japanese military.
昔でいうところの少佐ですよ。
What a coincidence. Dr. Takano was a lieutenant commander in the old military.
そういえば奇遇ですな。高野先生もかつては少佐の階級にあられたそうではありませんか。
She remembers suddenly. That's right. Her grandfather was lieutenant commander in the Japanese military. Everything she has done until today was so she could succeed her grandfather's research. Now everything is set, and the rank she will get is the same rank as her grandfather's. She always believed that succeeding his research was a bond tighter than blood. And now the rank she will get is the same rank as her grandfather's. This is fate. Is this a message from her grandfather? It must be a shout of encouragement from her grandfather in heaven. Only 2 minutes left? Perfect. Perfect timing here then. Thank you so much, Apparition. It's the proof that not only that her research, but his thoughts are hers as well. Takano can't help but feeling a sense of fate for being ranked a major.
おじいちゃん、
Grandfather,
私ようやくここまで来たよ。
I'm finally here. Nobody could hear her say that. But her grandfather in heaven could. She believed that. She has only come so far. There are still a lot of things to do for this research to be recognized as a great work. Otherwise, her grandfather won't become a god. She can't become a god either. You must become a god. That was in grandfather's will. I was unable to do so. That line preceded it. That's her grandfather's dying wish. Her grandfather entrusted it with her. He entrusted his research with her. A god can't be resurrected by reviving a body. A god is made in the hearts of people who are still alive. Her grandfather will stay in her heart, and his great work will be known, and all the scholars will read his articles. They'll fight for it, and they will learn about Takano Hifumi, who started his research during the war. They will know that nobody understood him, and that he ended up devoting his lonely life to his research. Then they'll praise his great work. Oh my god! Woof! Okay. We made it!
ご紹介します。高野三佐です。
Okay. Yeah, this is all going to be a flashback to how Takano got introduced to Irie and everything, isn't it? And everybody, isn't it? She's probably going to be meeting Tomitaki and Irie right here. Okay, you know what? This is a good place to cut off. We went a bit longer than usual, but I think we had to with all this crazy stuff about ship being left out and everything. And oh my god, jeez. Seriously, I can't believe it's going to get even more complicated than this. In the future. Thanks. I wish I could have organized that better. With the various parts added and removed from things, but I think it's a miracle as it is that I can keep everything more or less with each other, alongside each other. So I'd like to thank all of you for joining me, especially even those who couldn't join me for the entire stream. It's really amazing. Before, we used to have just like consistently 3 to 5 people sometimes being. Now we have like 8 or 9, and that is really amazing. And just to want to see what I'm doing. So thank you guys so much, seriously, for joining me on these streams. Yeah, it's 2.5 hours. Seriously, thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time in 2 days. We'll continue here where we left off. I think Takano and Irie, or Takano and Tomitake, are about to meet for the first time. So thank you so much, seriously. Thank you for joining me on this stream. I really love doing this with this guys. I really love doing this with you guys, this stream. Thank you so much. And thank you, Roe. Thanks. Oh, you guys are too nice to me. Seriously, thank you. Bye. See you. Bye, T. Bye, Niggles. Apparition, everybody.